Live?
Give you that co-host. Yeah, we're live.
Okay. What topic are we discussing?
Oh, we just got done talking about aliens,
Aliens? Oh, I believe they're
and
real, definitely.
and I was talking about why the government cannot and did not and were not able to publicly say if aliens exist or not. They couldn't
I'll
confirm
tell
it.
you why, because they don't want to cause mass hysteria.
Yeah, because I was telling the boys, I was like, cause think about it. Everybody, the majority of the populace, right, around the entire world,
Yeah,
gets what's it called? They why can't I think? They're heavily around religion. They have a
yeah,
religion that backs their beliefs on why we have to do certain things, on why life works certain ways it works, and everything like that. So now when you take an outside force that isn't talked about in the Bible or within these scriptures they go based off of, and it comes and negates the things we deem to believe in these
yeah.
religious books, it
So I was,
fucks up
that's what
that
I was
whole
thinking too.
process.
I was thinking
And
that too, because like, if I were to say to like, let's say you're like a heavy Christian, I was like, oh yeah, there's this aliens exist. That's gonna like destroy their entire world.
yeah, because right now, like I was telling them, I was like, right now, with the government not confirming that it's 100% from outer space, from a different civilization, from a different life form, right? These
Yeah,
objects we find, these unexplainable phenomenons, and all that, they deem it all. They're like, oh, this we found this, but we don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
they know what it is.
But they can say that because most people will get it, right? They'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's a motherfucking alien." But then religious people will be like, "Oh, that's China. That's Russia." You know what I mean? Like they like everybody has a gap to fill.
If you think about it, it's really mind melting to think that we're probably not the only civilization that exists. There's probably billions and trillions of other
Bro,
civilizations
I mean,
as advanced.
I wouldn't go as far as to say billions and trillions, just
You don't
because
think
like I
so?
know the galaxy is always expanding and it had
Yeah, well,
those.
that's why I'm saying like trillions because it's infinite, so we don't know like how
Yeah,
much.
I suppose. But then that goes into a whole basis of shit we don't
But even then,
understand,
like
and it fucks up
how
the
many
brain.
like now how many like duplicates of Earth like this type of planet where there's cavemen going on right now? Like just starting out.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? There could be one. I mean, wasn't there that one planet that fucking long ass name that was like a spitting image of Earth?
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that we're the only. Like, I'm sure there's other planets out there with humans.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say humans, but similar traits. Because I don't think that there's one ecosystem that is the same.
Right. Like
Because I feel like
Minecraft.
there's always something weird that changes,
Oh,
right?
definitely. Like, there could be like, let's say, can communicate, speak, humanoid. Not maybe not human like us, but
With
humanoid.
our basis of how we've formed the civilization, yeah, where they have good
Yeah,
communications,
What's the topic?
aliens. We're
aliens.
talking about aliens.
Yeah, see, like I believe in aliens because there's no way in chance in hell that we're like one in a fucking trillion chance that we're the only life forms in the entire universe. Like, there's like what
Oh,
kind of
no
chance?
cap, Kevin. I'm not gonna lie. The way you started that, I thought you were about to say something trolling.
Me too. Me too.
I was waiting for the troll moment. I was like, no, he like that's not
Now,
wrong.
now the reason I came in here is because I wanted to tell Doom to look at what Hay said in general, but I also wanted to add it to the topic before I leave. All right.
Story behind this. I bought this to see for my own eyes, like see for myself, if like getting a response from this is real and if ghosts exist and that phenomenon. I have currently gotten 3 responses from this that were genuinely like that was 100% a response. One time I asked, is anybody there? In like a deep voice it said no, real quick. And that spooked me, so I turned it off and put it away, as any normal, rational person would do. And the second time was a similar situation, and the third time was the most recent one that happened before I moved out here. Was something dropped in the basement, something fell, and there's no airflow in the basement. It's under fucking ground, so there's nothing that could have fell on its own. And the way it was set up, nothing could have fell. So I was like, all right, what the fuck was that? So I grabbed the spirit box, started recording, and I went to the where it fell, and I was like, hey, why'd you drop this? Or I was like, why are you fucking with me? Why are you trying to spook me? And its answer was, sorry. So I turned it off like any rational person would do, put it up, and went upstairs. And I was like, all right, cool. It said sorry. I'm cool with that. I'm going to leave that where it's at, and we're fucking done. We're done.
Oh, I had a weird night terror the other day where it was like someone was like banging doors in my house, opening doors, and there was like someone in my house, and I swear it was real. And there was like someone standing over me in my sleep, staring at me, but I couldn't move.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I can't do anything.
Your sleep demon started controlling shit now? What the hell?
Yeah, you know, the sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Like, this man was staring over me, and I got up in my dream, but it was like one of those dreams where you get up and then you wake up again in your dream, and it's a repetitive cycle, so you can't tell if it's real or not.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah, but aliens. So, are there aliens walking among us? Among us.
So based on my research and videos I've seen and things that like I documentaries I've watched, things I've read, all stuff like that, I want to say yes.
I've heard.
Let me do a quick deep dive because there's a specific name I'm trying to think of and I can't remember his name.
I've heard that it's possible that squids are actually aliens.
I mean, that would kind of make sense. I'm not gonna lie.
Octopus is also.
Bro, I love that I can Google big dome alien and what I'm looking for literally pops up.
Yeah, you should be glad that a different big dome alien didn't pop up.
What's this thing called? It is the Integratron. Integratron? Yeah. Integratron. Okay. So I'm going to Google that. And we're going to go to all. What's his name? George Van Tassel. There we go. So George Van Tassel is a man who tells this story of how one day he's like kind of in the middle of nowhere, kind of. He owns an airport.
Right.
And one night, in the middle of the night, really super late at night, he gets woken up by this very light, like bright fucking light of a spacecraft landing. And these beings that were inside of it come to talk to him. And he claims that they are almost spitting images of humans. That if they walked amongst us, you would not be able to tell. And he basically went on to tell this story about how they gave him these plans, like, hey, we want you to build this. This is what it does. There's a science behind it. Here's the research for it. This is what you need to do. Make it happen. Do it. And they were like, trust me, it'll be great for your society and the benefit of mankind. It's basically they were doing that out of the kindness of their heart type thing. And I think there was like 12 people that were working that shift at the airport, so they all saw this go down. So there's his story, and there's people that back his story of what he claims. And then on top of that, he then goes into working this big fucking dome in the Mojave Desert, I think. it was in the Mojave Desert. Huge fucking dome that he called the Integratron. And he states that he does not understand, he doesn't fully understand the science behind it. He doesn't understand how it works. He was basically given the like blueprints and told to recreate it, and this is how it works. This is what it does. So he then devotes a lot of time and energy into building this. So he creates the Integratron with these extraterrestrial beings told him to do, and he created it. And the day he was going to turn it on and have it fully functional and operational, he ups and dies of a random heart attack. Unexplainable heart attack. In 1978 is when he died. So, crazy. And on top of that, immediately after he dies, FBI agents swarm the Integratron, take copies of any recording he has, takes all the interfaces out, takes all the research he's done, everything. All these documents he's built, created, and received, they all took them and disappeared. We don't, to this day, no clue what the fuck happened to him. He dies. Same day or next day, fucking FBI agents swarm his Integratron, take everything from it. Cease and dismiss orders were released for his stuff or some shit like that. And fucking they took all of it. And
did you hear of the Travis Walton case?
I don't know about that one. But yeah, so yes, long story short, I think aliens can walk amongst us.
Travis Walton is the most credible ever alien abduction.
Oh yeah. I watched the series that he did an interview in, that one show.
Yeah.
The newest show. What was it? Was it Beyond the Sky? No. There was something, but yeah, the guy who, his two friends, right? Is he the one where he had two buddies?
Yeah, but like there's a lot of witnesses to it. He was genuinely missing for like a week straight.
And it got to the point where they started interrogating and investigating his friends for murder.
Yeah, because they thought he was murdered because he genuinely was just gone. Like there was no explanation for it.
Yeah. But he said he had a horrible interaction with the aliens, right?
Nah, he said he doesn't like talking about it, which makes it more credible because everybody who was part of that experience, it like ruined their life because they didn't really get anything out of it other than trauma. It affected their entire life from that day because it's hard for them to even talk about.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the most credible UFO or like alien conspiracist person, the most credible one in the books right now is Bob Lazar.
Right.
Bob Lazar, everything in every single interview he's done, everything in every video I've ever seen, everything in every article he's ever written and been on, talk shows, radio shows, everything he's ever done. 100%, I believe it wholeheartedly, specifically for the fact that certain things he's talked about Area 51, my grandfather told me about before I heard Bob Lazar say it. And because my grandfather worked on Area 51 back in the early 80s, I think.
You see aliens?
No, because how they do it is they split you into categories, and where you're designated is the only place you have access to going. You can't free roam. You only have access to this one residence and this one building of work. You can't go explore as heavy.
Area 51 wasn't even confirmed to exist until this past decade.
2013, I think, right?
Yeah, they didn't even acknowledge. They would just call it fake until they finally were like, yeah, it's real.
But yeah, my grandfather worked there on the stealth bomber.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. And then you have stuff like I forgot what it's called, where the air balloon came down and then the army just comes in and takes
you're talking about New Mexico, Roswell.
New Mexico, Roswell. You know, whenever they're like, yeah, it's just an air balloon. Why the fuck you need the whole army to take?
So I don't know if you've seen this documentary on Netflix, but it goes into the breakdown of all of this shit about Roswell. Cause so immediately, I don't blame the government for handling it the way they handled it, right? Because they can't sit there and say, we don't know what the fuck that is, and there's this weird creature controlling it, right? Because that'll, especially, I think Roswell happened in 48, right?
Yeah, that happened a long time ago.
I think it was 48. Let's see. Incident. Roswell, New Mexico incident. Roswell, 1947. Okay, I was close. I'm getting good with these dates. So that happened in 1947. And think about it. In the 40s, what was going on? We just got out of what? World War II just got done. I think it was just the start of a Cold War. Right? Wasn't that what's going on? Yeah, from 45 to 91. So it was just the start of the Cold War. And there was too much shit going on. And especially in the 40s, everybody was heavily into religion. Like Christianity was the largest religion in America at the time, and it was weird not to be religious during that point in time. So if they came out and said all like, we don't know what the fuck happened, this and that, bro, the earth would have fucking exploded. It would have, all hell would have broke loose, because they're like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know how to explain this. I can't tell that to the everyday people living their lives. Now they're going to be fearful of their lives every day. So what better way to negate fear and that craziness and all that anxiety that you'd be pushing on everybody, other than be like, oh, that was our test weather balloon, that we were testing for trials, and yeah. But this show goes into details of it and shows you how the government paid people to cover things up, to lie about stories, even though there was other proof with it. Like, they went through all these means to cover the back trace of everything. Like, for example, like with Bob Lazar, they tried so hard to discredit him, to make him seem like some crazy person, to the point where they literally went through records, removed him from any of the colleges he attended, removed his work history, deleted that, made his previous employers negate the fact that he ever worked there. Be like, nope, never heard of him, don't know who it is. Paid people to say these things, right? But Homeboy has awards, he has medals, he has old newspapers of him at his college, at the job he claims to have worked. Like, he has evidence for all this, and the government's just like, yeah, nope. So it's just crazy.